Thanks for joining another episode of Playing the Artist, a web show where two country bumpkins try to be artists. I'm Antoine, joined as always, Alex. How are you, Alex? Sorry, I'm a little slow energy today.
Yeah, that's okay. Me too, man. It's been a busy week and just sleepy today, but it's going to be an informative day, I think.
Informative? Why is it
Yeah.
going to be informative?
Just like I don't know, I feel like a lot's been going on this week. I started a new facet of my business.
A new facet. What's the facet, my dude?
Print on demand. You can go to my web store and you can buy physical minis now. You can just order them and they'll get sent to you. I haven't started advertising it yet because my samples haven't come.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. I have no idea. I think the quality will be good because apparently I don't know if it's the exact same company, but they're saying that they're like the way that Hero Forge prints their minis because they do print on demand as well. It's the same process. So there's a standard there. Hopefully it meets that standard and our standards, and it's good. And then I'm gonna start promoting that, and yeah, it'll be fun.
All right.
I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I think printing is great and all, but being able to, because then you don't have to. I don't have to. I can go onto new Reddit pages and stuff instead of posting on the same printed minis at subreddit and 3D printing DMs. I think those are the only two I really have found. Maybe there's more. I'm sure there's more, but yeah, now I can find real other people. So I don't know. I think it's a big deal. And I think a lot of people are going to start to do it. I know that sort of a friend, I guess. I mean, we've been chatting a lot recently. The Mini Flayer. Are you familiar with Mini Flayer? He's just a mini Patreon guy like myself who every month has got his thing going on, but he's dialing back on Patreon and he's going to do this physical mini drop shipping scheme as well. So it's already a few people are starting to do it. I think it's not long before everybody starts doing it because there's no risk. Like there's no reason really not to. Because you don't get charged. It's not like where you buy a bulk of items, then you hold on to them and then you sell them, which is the way a lot of artists, like a lot of 2D artists, have to work that way, right? If they're selling prints of their, like signed prints or something, they've got to buy like 300, and then they put them up on their store, and there's 300 fucking tubes sitting in their office, right? So it's not like that. It's like you just make the transaction and it's totally fulfilled by somebody else. And you have to, you pay them a cut, right? But, if you don't sell anything that month, you're not like, you don't get burned by having to have spent all this money on inventory and stuff. So anyway.
You said it the short way, and then you said it the really long way.
Yeah.
You're like, it's print on demand. And then you started explaining print on demand to me like I don't know what it is. Like I'm a 50-year-old man.
Oh. I was just reading your face. And your face was like...
I'm just fucking out of it today. It's a gloomy day. It's very cloudy here in Vancouver.
Yeah. It'll get hot.
It's definitely getting hot. No, it's just on my end, it's nothing really new. I'm just trucking away, just trying to make models for this next Kickstarter and stuff like that. And there's nothing really to like report on except like just do the work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing I can really say, which is except just do the work. But what I have been actually trying out is not working Sundays. I've been trying to do that, and I think I'm going to keep doing that.
What do you do on Sunday?
Not do work.
Why don't you not work on like Monday when there's like stores open and banks and stuff? Or do you consider that going to work?
What does it matter? What does it matter? You know what I mean?
Well, because then you could like do other things. Like if my schedule was like
yeah, but I just said not do my work.
Yeah.
Like
Well, what do you consider your work?
Not sitting at the computer. That's my work.
Okay.
What do you think it was?
Oh no, I'm like saying like go to the bank, go to the post office, whatever, that kind of stuff.
That's just whatever, you know.
Oh yeah.
Just whatever.
I guess you got so much free time, you know. You got, or not that I should say free time, but you got some like your schedule is completely like malleable.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want, anyways.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just a good. That one day is a good refresher.
Yeah.
Good refresher, I feel. And also, I've been watching a lot. I just said it again. Watching a lot more films and stuff like that, and that does something to you too when you like actually like sit down and like watch something or like listen to something intently or pay attention to something intently. That's like not your work or not your project or whatever. It's just something where you can be like, I'm going to like, I guess relax and just let this film, you know, entertain me. And you forget that, you know, that's important sometimes and that you need that kind of stuff because it just kind of, I don't know, gives the spirit a break. If that sounds too hokey, then it is too hokey, but it makes me feel good. So yeah, that's what I've been implementing in my routines these days.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, it's easy to like. I mean, it's pretty common to watch like TV shows or movies or whatever while you're working.
No.
You're not that kind of person.
No. I don't know how people do it. So many people working at EA would do that, and I was just like, "How do you guys get any work done here?"
Yeah.
So yeah. But
well, people are different.
Can I just stop you there for a second? I can't like poo-poo those people because I've done that many times with podcasts where you have the podcast in a corner, like a little tiny cube in the corner of your screen, and you just kind of like look to the side or look to the other side and look at like what they're laughing about or what they're kind of talking about. It's weird, but they're just people talking, but they're still there, and you just kind of get distracted by it. And you look at it, you're not really paying attention to your work. I've done that.
When Jamie's bringing up a giraffe fighting an elephant, and I got to see the video. You might share the video. Yeah,
all sorts of stuff.
All sorts of stuff. So. I know like really productive people who do that though. Like Olivier.
Are they though?
Olivier
Imagine if they didn't do it. Imagine if they didn't do it and they actually.
Well, I don't know because, like, it occupies. People aren't doing it just because they're like bored. They're doing it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it can be a distraction, right? Where you're working.
It can be,
and then you turn your head to like see what they're chatting about or whatever, and then you go back. Like, how many times do you do that through the day, right? Because like that adds up, right? You like before you know it, you might have.
What's the alternative? You sit there like a robot. I don't think people. That's not realistic, and that's why people are finding something to distract themselves while they work. And I mean, sometimes because when you're doing that kind of work, when you're doing a lot of this art stuff, 25% of your mind is unoccupied, especially if you're doing like, kind of polishing at the end or like UV work or whatever. There's some dry periods in there where you're not designing and you're not fully engaged. And then your mind starts to kind of wander as you're working. And like having a podcast or a movie or music or whatever that is, it kind of grounds you so that like as long as you can stay, you're there working, and then while the duration of the Avengers movie is on, you're not going to be checking your phone. You're not going to be getting up to go get a drink or whatever. It's like
but you're gonna look. You're gonna look when Hulk punches somebody in the face. You're like, oh, here's Hulk. He's gonna punch someone in the face. Let me stare at it.
Yeah, you might do that, but I think that because people are human, it's like that is a trade-off, and it's like a better trade-off than the other distractions. That if you were just sitting there, in a quiet room, bored as you're working, and like your mind starts to wander, I think your mind will find more distractions than the odd clip here and there. I don't think it's as big of a deal as like I know I've worked for people who found that a big deal. People are watching films while they're working, and I think I see from like an optics perspective when you walk into a room and everybody's like got anime on their second screen as they're working, and it looks like, is everybody even really working here? But I do think it for the first. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's people that are using it as like a distraction, probably. And
I'm just gonna be the big meanie on this, and I just have to disagree with you on this. I don't know. I shouldn't say. Well, yeah, I should say I shouldn't. I don't know. Like, I don't have hard evidence. I don't have like scientific evidence on it. But my most closest example is me, right? So I'm trying to put myself on everybody else.
That's the thing. Like, I know as somebody who's had a team of artists, and I know who produces and who doesn't. I know who's watching YouTube and who isn't. And my guy Olivier, he's like producing more art than everybody on the team. And I look over at him, and I see him like he's drawing and watching, but he's drawing and watching for like 9 hours out of a day. You know what I mean? Whereas other people are up, chatting, blah, blah, blah. Maybe they're not watching a movie while they're working, but they're like, there's this like broader disengagement that's happening. And that's way more unproductive than 5 seconds of looking up at Thor, like casting lightning. Because it's like, oh, you're there, you're back. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't, like, I think it's unrealistic to just roboticize people and just say, you've got this much work to do. Sit down and then don't move or don't do anything else until it's done. It's like people don't really work like that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that people work like robots. I'm just saying that in a perfect scenario, right? If I was a business person, I would want my employees not to be looking at things and stuff like that. I understand that, but here's an idea. Maybe the work days are too fucking long. Maybe you're not supposed to be in front of a computer for 8 hours. Yeah,
or at least your period of engagement is too long. Yeah. Like I definitely have. I mean, shit, I'm working so much. I definitely have more than 8 hours of work in a day in me. But if I can't do 10 continuous hours.
I don't think anybody has 8 hours of continuous work in them.
Yeah, it's weird, right? I mean, yeah, there's lunch break and blah blah blah.
Yeah, but even with that, I don't know. I disagree with it because sorry, there's probably some special humans out there that could that's what they could do every day and they won't stop. Mm-hmm. But I think for the majority of people, you can't chain them to their desk like that and expect them to their output of work to be 100%. Because I don't know about you, but for me, I've said this before on the show that morning most work, and then throughout the day it starts petering out, right? And so my first 2 hours are usually my best hours, and then the next two are like a slog. And then the next two after that is even worse, and then I won't do any more because then I'm just running around looking at YouTube videos and not paying attention to my work really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, well, maybe this. Maybe people just need to take account of their actual work speed, and work like their willpower, right?
I think having a real commitment to a goal for a day is like super like that'll keep you on track more than anything else, because like I know when I was at work and working on whatever asset, like and it was more so when I was at the office, because when I'm at home I can just keep going or whatever. I don't have to like go anywhere. But like at the end of the day, when you're like, oh, I really got to finish this thing before I can go home, that's when you're so productive, because you're like, I just want to go home. And so you're just going to focus on that task until it's done. And you're not, you just want it to be done so that you don't have to stay late, right? That's at least one motivation that keeps you that engaged. I'm sure there's more, but like I notice for myself when I have like some kind of time restraint like that, it's like, okay, I need to get this done before I can do this other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not watching a YouTube podcast at that time for that last hour of the day. I'm just like really just trying to button things up as efficiently as possible. And you don't want to make mistakes at that time. You just want to, be really efficient. Yeah. So if you can but the things at home, like there isn't that same, I don't know, because at home, you're already at home, there's no race to get home and be home and see your cats or your big white wall and your exercise equipment in the corner that you miss so dearly.
Yeah.
You're going to get a cat one day?
No.
No? You're not a pets guy. You're going to get a farm someday. You're just going to go from nothing to like a farm of animals.
No, I'm not going to get a farm. If I ever move out of this goddamn city, I'm going to get a dog.
Hmm.
What was I going to chirp about? I'm that's a long pause, Antoine. I'm not really thinking about anything.
Did you drink your coffee yet this morning?
No, I didn't. I've been drinking a lot less coffee these days.
Oh yeah.
Because I bought some and it's gross and I refuse to drink it. So.
Oh yeah. Take it back.
But I really drank like 3 pots of it. Also, who brings back coffee that they used?
No, we're gonna bring back coffee. We bought this big bag of Starbucks coffee, and the beans are all like black. So I was like, stop drinking it. Stop drinking it right now. If you're gonna take this back,
that's so weird. Why would you go? You sound like the stories that people talk about when people walk into stores and like, I want to return this. And it's like coffee that's already been open. It's just like, what? Why would you do that?
Just
throw it away.
There's returning something because it's like, you can return a bad product for just on the grounds of it being bad.
I don't know. Maybe that's the type of coffee that people like, and that's just like coffee that you just got that you just didn't like.
I don't know. We've had Starbucks coffee before. I think everybody's had Starbucks coffee before.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Come see the beans. Come check out the beans. You'll agree, man.
I don't want to see beans.
Let me show you my black beans. They're so burnt, man.
I think that's what up with my fucking coffee. It's burnt. It's supposed to be just a French roast, but it's fucking harsh. I tried buying other coffee and mixing it with the other coffee, and it's just it's still tainted. So it's just I don't know.
No, you should just save that coffee. Is it ground or not?
Yeah, it's ground.
What that's good for is I don't know if you ever have a weird fridge smell. Maybe you have leftovers in there or onions or something, and it lingers. Put fill a sock up with coffee, and put it in your fridge. It absorbs all the smelly fridge smells. I'm telling you, man. I would. I mean, now that I'm with Sam, she's way better at containers,
cleaning,
and stuff. Yeah, being clean. And when I was living alone, I was like, man, my fridge kind of is smelly. So I'd throw a sock full of coffee ground beans, and it did the trick so fast, quicker than it was way better than like baking soda or whatever people put.
Was it like used coffee grinds?
No.
It was just plain coffee grinds that were freshly grind up.
The coffee that you would normally scoop into your coffee maker
All
or
right,
your French press.
I'll fucking
put it in an old tube sock. Everybody's got one or two that doesn't match, that just goes through the laundry. It's in the basket all the time, or it's in the bottom of your drawer. Take that sock, put it to use.
Okay, well, first of all,
my PSA.
My fridge doesn't stink because I'm not you.
And it's good to just take the sock and just smell it sometimes. Like,
excuse me? Fresh. What are you talking about right now?
That fresh
What is going on? Okay.
You're going to do it. You're going to do it.
No, I'm definitely not. It seems like a complete waste of time.
What, you're some kind of god? Your fucking fridge never stinks, ever? You never have a smelly fridge?
You know what? I could say this comfortably. Yes, my fridge has never stunk.
I disagree. I totally don't agree with that.
What do you mean you disagree? You don't at my place smelling my fridge.
Everybody gets a smelly fridge at least once in their life.
Yeah, they do. But for me right now, no. It's not a thing.
Well, good for you.
Okay. You seem very upset.
That's not what I was asking.
You're upset because I have a clean fridge?
No, I'm upset because you refuse to admit that you are the type of person that could ever have an unclean fridge. I know you are.
Maybe old Antoine. Yeah, for sure, but not Antoine now. Fucking sock. Coffee grinds. Shit.
Just drink the coffee. Just drink the
coffee. Man, what did you do this week anyways?
Going down. I don't know. I don't know what I did.
What? You don't know what you did?
I did a lot of work this week because.
Do you mean EA work?
Well, I do a lot of that every week, but I did a lot of. I don't know. It's hard to even remember where last week ended and this week began.
Yeah, I know stuff's kind of like moving pretty quickly for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like new things become the new norm real fast. Like, I don't know. I had a couple of Skype meetings with people. Well, I got my mini factory launched last week.
Yeah, I saw that. I liked one of your pictures.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, appreciate that.
It's looking good. It looks professional.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. My mini factory's been a lot of, uploading models on my mini factory takes a while for me. Not like forever, but compared to other, like my web store and Patreon and Thingiverse, takes longer.
Yeah,
and that's not even the approval process, which takes some time. Yeah,
I know.
But they're doing their best. I think we might have even chatted about this exact topic last week, but whatever. It's up. Everything's up there now, so we'll see. Maybe I can get a promotion going or something. I'll talk to that guy.
A promotion going? Jeepers! You just calling shots.
Well, I'm paying. I'm paying for this this service.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
So you should get something out of it.
You get to potentially sell your stuff.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Yeah. I guess so. But already I can already sell stuff. It's really just like exposure to more people and being on another channel,
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Trying to be on all the channels. Trying to be like Kellogg's, you can get Kellogg's. You can get Kellogg's in Costco. You can get your Kellogg's at Walmart. You can get your Kellogg's at, the other one.
I look like I'm born on Kellogg's. Like I'm just so white. It's just super white food. Kellogg's.
Man, I stopped eating Kellogg's so much when they started taking the prizes out of the boxes and made them like digital redeemable downloads.
I didn't even know
was a
that was
sad
a
day.
thing. I didn't even know that was a thing.
You never get like a little something in your box of cereal when you're a
I
kid?
remember I got a Star Trek Next Generation data head that was a stamp. So it was like a head, and you like take the little cap off, and you could stamp his head on things. Pretty ridiculous because it's chemicals inside of cereal. It's a stamp. You know what I mean?
Well, it's
like
in a
paint.
package, no?
Yeah, but still, like those things, shit happens, right? Things open up. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like the earliest toy I remember getting when I was a kid. But it's like, which kid is watching Star Trek? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. They had nerds back then too, so they had nerds back then too.
Mm-hmm. I don't think a stamp. Maybe a stamp entertains kids these days too. I don't know.
I don't fucking know.
There's so much cool shit nowadays.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, there was like nothing. There was no cool stuff. Like I couldn't find like a Nintendo figure when I was a kid. I remember when I was like, because I lived in a small town too. I really wanted a Spider-Man when I was like 6 or 7. I really wanted a Spider-Man action figure, but they just didn't exist. There was none of them.
I'm sure there was.
There was. I'm sure there was, but you can't go on Amazon and order it. You're just exposed to what you're exposed to. And I was not exposed to any Spider-Man action figures, not until I was like 12 years old or so, something like that.
When I was a kid, when I was in kindergarten, there was this cartoon that I didn't know there was a cartoon of it, but I just remember seeing the toys, and I had one of the toys. It was called Skeleton Warriors. And they had these crazy fucking toys of skeletons. I had this one skeleton that had 6 arms, and it had
cool.
golden eyes, like 2 golden BBs in his eye sockets, and he had like golden bracers, and he had guns and swords, and the thing looked insane. And I remember my mom getting that for me because she didn't give a shit.
That's cool.
But I remember getting, and it was such a weird thing because it was just like this. It was so detailed and so like premium, but there was nothing attached to it. Like other things had like Ninja Turtles. There was the cartoon, Power Rangers. There's the TV show.
Yeah.
And then usually the toys were like more high end because they were attached with a TV show. But this, I didn't know what it was. It was just this crazy thing.
That's cool it's cool of your mom to get you that, because some moms, like not my mom, but my like cousin's mom was the kind of type would never ever get you a skeleton. Like it was, like some moms are like, oh, it's violent. Oh, it's this is like the devil. Anything. Basically, whatever that mom, you can judge like whatever that mom thinks is not safe for you to watch or buy. That's what's cool. Like bloody animes and RoboCop and that kind of stuff. It's like if that mom thinks it's dangerous to your like development, then that's like my bar for what was cool when I was 12 years old.
My mom didn't really care about anything really about when it came to like film and like music and stuff like that. That'd be more on my dad's side. But anyways, enough about that. So, what about you're doing this map thing, hey? On Instagram, I saw.
Yeah, we're doing a giveaway. We're giving away a map. We're giving away a few maps actually. So I've got a bunch of these maps. So I sent one to NPC Voices. He's the guy that did that review video before. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, that video turned out to be a little bit less of a review and more of like a hype video. So I was like, okay, I'm going to send this guy a map because he gets hyped up. He does a really good job. And so we're going to start the giveaway on Friday. He should get the map, I don't know, maybe next week. But the contest is going to run for like a month. So we're gonna start the giveaway. Hopefully somebody.
It's not really a contest. It's more like a raffle.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you doing the classic thing where it's like you gotta follow and then you gotta leave a like and a comment and then tag a friend?
Pretty much, because like I'm not sure. I just don't know what else to do. I started thinking about other things, but I think it just gets really complicated really quickly. Like maybe we can ask them to like share a picture of like their painted mini, but I don't know. I don't want it to be that narrow.
That's annoying.
That's kind of only people. It's like all my backers, which I do want them to enter too. And but I think I want to do a separate giveaway for them. Which is not to say that they couldn't enter this one, but yeah, I think it should be more broad than that. And I don't know. It's also like once you do something different from the norm, you have to put energy into explaining what you're doing and why it's different and what's exactly different about it. Because if there's some similarities, then people will just assume it's your typical like and tag and share anyways. So it's like rather than invest any more energy than when we need to in that, why don't we just we'll just do your standard thing. Try to give away some maps, and hopefully some people are interested in it. And then so that'll start on Friday, and then next month is the next month. Every month is different. It's a different release, so we have a different kind of bonus on Patreon for the first week. I'm going to be adding to, like last month we had a 1 week bonus, and this week I'm gonna run it again, but I'm gonna juice it up a little bit and add a bit more content to it for the first week incentive kind of thing. And so it's kind of all going to be in succession. It's going to be like do the map thing, generate a little bit of buzz, announce the week 1 bonus for July, and then hopefully I've got my physical minis in and I can take product shots of those and stuff like that, and then start promoting the physical minis. I'll do that all during the duration of this contest, which is going to be like 1 month, and then ride that into the sunset. And I don't know, who knows after that. And and then I don't know. I also like, like I was saying about Mini Flare, who I mentioned earlier. He's a guy I might kind of collaborate with a little bit. But he's having a kid and he's stepping away from Patreon now. So he's like, I just don't have time. I'm still going to sell my models and release them and stuff, but I can't commit to Patreon right now. So he's stepping back, and he offered to like give me one of his models to add to my release as just a way to kind of cross promote one another. So I think I might do that, but I feel a little bit like, that adds content to mine, but I don't know what that, I mean, I guess that advertises for him too. So maybe it is mutually beneficial, but yeah, it might be just a one-time thing where I just add an extra bonus. So think about that too.
Yeah, I'm looking at your Patreon right now, and you have you're getting there. You're getting higher. You're getting bigger.
Yeah, we're growing, man. It's I think I don't see why I would, as long as we keep putting energy into it and keep making regular work that people are used to, I don't see why it won't continue to grow. I mean, Artisans Guild has got like 6,500 patrons. It's absolutely crazy. So there's definitely 6,500 patrons.
Oh my God.
Isn't it ridiculous? That's crazy, man. And their tiers are all way more expensive than mine, right? They're all at least double the price.
But also you got to remember though, like like what you're making is completely different than what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's totally different.
They have like a big volume of like character stuff and like other like little tiny miscellaneous, sometimes bigger stuff.
Yeah.
That's like a big bundle. And you're kind of doing a you do the card thing, which is really unique and different, and then the player sheet thing, and then the characters are very.
I really focus on one character.
Yeah.
Whereas like they'll kind of spread out like a shotgun blast of a bunch of characters.
Yeah.
But which is safer in a way, but I don't know. I just don't have time to make that many characters.
If it was your full-time gig, I bet you could.
If it was my full-time gig, I would probably make some more. Yeah, I would probably.
But the thing is, you got to remember, like a lot of the characters. When he does a theming each month, the characters, they have a lot of similarities. You know what I mean? So they share components a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like weapons or shields or shoulder pads or helmets,
heads,
hands.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So you can get away with like making multiple characters. And that's the same way I feel about what I'm doing too, is like I'm trying to think about making stuff very like unique and kind of grand and kind of like one of a kind, where it's like, oh, you won't see this anywhere else kind of thing. That's what I'm trying to do with this next Kickstarter. I'm trying to make stuff where it's like, there's only one place to get this type of work, and that's at Forbidden Prints. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I can't, the volume thing, I don't know. It's cool and all, but I think people would much prefer quality pieces, less pieces, but more quality. You know what I mean? More character and more sense of feeling behind the piece than anything.
It's going to serve that purpose, whatever that is first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Whatever your purpose is.
At what point are you going to pull the plug and on EA and get rid of all your stocks?
Well, I don't know.
2,000 a month?
I've already gotten rid of all my stocks, but
3,000 a month?
I think once I feel like it's like I just have no choice but to do it, I guess. Once I feel like, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Imagine.
It's not yet though.
I know. But like each month, it seems like it's going up like $100.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to have to get to a point where I feel like I can't maintain both.
Yeah.
If I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, the Patreon or whatever, like this business is the number one thing, because I think it's going to go into the future, I hope. Furthest.
Sure. But also, when you think about it, like if you could keep doing this Patreon thing, and then also, have you thought about, because you still want to try to do a Kickstarter, right?
Yeah. But that kind of takes a lot of extra work on top too, right? So.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, let's say you were making a decent, like an okay amount from the Patreon,
and
then you leave EA and you keep the same workload that you have on the Patreon, but then all that extra time you have left over, you put that towards working on a Kickstarter.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then it's like, because that's really you and I are on two like kind of different paths in the same field that are both kind of successful, proven avenues to make a living doing this.
Yeah.
So it would be good to be able to do both. Yeah. I think I think if somebody's committing themselves to this fully, like maybe even yourself here, to do both is like a no-brainer. Like I think you should be doing it, I guess.
What, doing a Kickstarter, Patreon?
Yeah. Have you thought about it?
Yeah, I have thought about it. I don't know. I just the idea of like Oh, it's rough though, because I have to figure out. It's weird because like I don't know. You know what though? I'm overthinking it, and I bet if the chips are down and like I start getting a couple patrons, it's like, well, no time to think about it too long, Antoine. You just got to make some work for these people, these patrons, right?
It puts sure lights fire under your butt every month. That's for
yeah.
sure.
So that's probably what it is, right? Instead of like getting into my head, I don't know. It's maybe it's a completely different animal because I'm in this Kickstarter. I'm trying to like this one piece I've been working on. I've been doing some iterations on it because I was feeling that it just wasn't like hitting the mark. So I had to like go back, take some things out, add some things, and it's at a point now where I'm like, okay, it's at the point where I like it, and now I'm just like refining it and like putting the details in and stuff. And you can't really, I don't know, you have less wiggle room if you have if it's like a per month release, you know what I mean? So, but you get the benefits of, you know, having patrons and people, you know, giving you a little bit of shekels for your time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it'll probably happen sooner or later, or maybe not. I don't know. I have no idea. You know me.
I think maybe for one of the topics of our show, we should look at a few terrain Patreons, guys who make terrain, if that's what you're thinking about kind of entering, and just seeing what their workload looks like. You know, what are they making month to month, and like what are their tiers offering and charging, and just get a, because I can't off the top of my head even list one like environment based Patreon. Not because I'm sure there's a lot out there. I'm so in my own space that I have.
There's this one gentleman, I forget his name, but he releases all his stuff on Thingiverse, and he helps runs, or I don't know if he's the founder of OpenForge.
Okay.
And he has a Patreon, and his Patreon is $1, and it's per release.
Oh,
yeah,
that's an interesting way to go.
Yeah, he's very, very humble about his well, his thing.
I mean, if doing, you know, a tile a day is realistic, then
I don't. But he's not releasing a tile for $1. It's like a couple tiles for $1.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
If you can do 10 releases in a month, then that's pretty good.
Yeah, that'd be pretty damn good.
Scales. That scales well.
What was I gonna say? Cast and Play, they had a couple open lock stuff that they released. I just thought it was interesting.
That's cool.
But
OpenLock, that's like the most common one, and it has a free license. You just have to apply to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should look into that.
But when you do, the only like caveat is when you got to make sure that you have his logo, the OpenLock logo. You got to make sure you. What are you laughing about?
You're just like sliding more and more off the screen.
Oh, am I?
You're like, your head is like half.
There.
There we go.
No.
Like I'm talking to my second head.
What was I?
Cast and Play has an OpenLock.
Oh yeah, OpenLock thing. So the only caveat is you got to make sure you have the logo for OpenLock, and then also in any description of the model, you got to make sure you put a link to printable scenery and stuff, and say like, oh, you know, visit printable scenery for other blah blah. You know, just like you got to make sure you like promote like like where like to get the product and like where to like get other components for OpenLock and whatnot. Yeah.
Well, that's fair.
So, yeah, I would like to do a per release thing because then it's kind of like I can like really like think about something and then I don't know. It'd be interesting to like. This is what I was thinking. Like, you can. I'm sliding off in the corner again. Damn it. You can maybe have where it's like, okay, I'll make per release. You'll be charged depending on like the size of the model.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's like 4x4 or like 8x8 kind of thing, you know what I mean? Where it's like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm wondering
Like
if you
a
can
scale
charge. I'm wondering if you can
thing.
charge a different price per release, though.
Well, you would have different tiers, right? You would have like the 4x4 tier.
Yeah, that's true.
The 4x4 tier, and then the other one would be the 8x8 tier. So,
but the thing is,
fitting those sizes.
You can't release one thing without charging everybody on your Patreon at once on per release.
Then I would make one that's a 4x4, and then another one that's a 8x8.
Yeah, you have to do that. I think per release is, unless you're making less like what that guy is doing. He's probably releasing several things per month.
Probably two things.
Even 2 things per month is like, I don't know. It's kind of the longer you gap between you have releases on per release, I feel it's more risk with that model.
Yeah, it's true.
But
it is true.
It's just hard to promote. It's really hard to promote a thing. Unless you really get ahead of your art. That's what you have to do. You have to really get ahead of your art so that you can promote this thing and say it releases next, whatever date, and then people can back it and get it. Because you can't release it and then promote it, because by that time it's already gone. Like as soon as you hit the release button, there it is. So, yeah, I would like, I also think like just if you're committing to a Patreon, it might be good to just have one tier that's low, or not like, cheap and not a ton of commitment that you're just, you can add bigger tiers later, but have like a minimal commitment one. Because then you actually can offer different stuff to different patrons, because you can put different work into different buckets of people. I mean, you can do that before, but everybody gets charged at the same time. So I mean, either way, you've got to service all your tiers. You can't service one tier without serving the other. So anyway,
I know what you mean.
I don't know, something to think about. But
we'll see. We'll see how the next Kickstarter here comes along as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, geez.
I'm sure it'll do well.
What would do well? My next Kickstarter?
The next Kickstarter, whatever it is.
Whatever it is. Well. I hope so too. I think it'll do well. But yeah. Got any plan? What's your plan for this week, my dude?
I'm sculpting a figure. I'm releasing 2 figures next month. I'm making kind of this shapeshifter character. So I'm going to make her in her human form, and then I'm going to make this kind of dragon wolf kind of character. And I want to finish sculpting the dragon wolf this week.
Okay.
And then a few other odds and ends, just like maintaining shit, reaching out to people, going to work, drinking coffee, taking poops, going for walks.
Yeah, I've been going for walks in the sun to get a little more tan. I'm still just as white. I'm not even wearing sunscreen. I put the top of my head, so like when I wipe my head out of the shower, it like stings.
Oh yeah.
But you can't even see if it's burnt. I don't know what the hell.
You just don't tan.
I do. Well, that's not true. I don't tan. No, I do tan. I've had the farmer's tans before, but they're.
Yeah, do you get pink or do you get?
No, I do not get pink.
Okay.
Right.
So you might just burn.
I do burn if I'm exposed to the sun too much.
Mhm.
But if I just expose myself just a little bit, it's fine. What I'm gonna try
What
to
are you
do.
up to?
Oh, I was about to get in there.
Okay.
I gotta finish this piece. This one piece that I was just talking about. I had to like change things and stuff. I'm sick of looking at it. And I want to move on to the next piece, so I need to finish it this week, so I don't psychologically destroy myself. And then once that's done, is move on to the next piece. Yeah. Yeah. I also been thinking about mailing lists. About that.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it too. I know Pete and Sam harp on it.
They're right.
They're like, oh, it's a no-brainer. It's this, it's that. So
It's true.
they probably are, but I haven't put any energy into a mailing list
Yeah.
as of yet. If there's a free one on Shopify, like a free app or something, then maybe I'll do that. But yeah.
We'll see. Well, I think there's somewhere it's free for a certain amount of slots, and then you got to start paying.
Oh.
Yeah.
It could be because Pete's saying he pays for his mailing list to have a mailing list.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure MailChimp, the first 75 is free, and then after, if it passes that, you got to start paying. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It isn't cheap either. I think it's like $100 a month.
Yeah, but like he has a little bit different business model. Like
yes, he does.
He makes a lot off of those sales, off of his prints in his store.
Yeah.
So he really needs an avenue to tell everybody who's bought them before that, hey, there's a new one to buy. Whereas
you know what I need to
already,
need to do? I need to get I got to do a little bit more work on my Kickstarter page to get it up and running. So I could generate traffic there and get people to start following it. So I think that's a big thing. I really do. Because my first one, I had like 202 or 220 followers, and I really think how big that number is at like before the Kickstarter launches sinks or swims a Kickstarter. I really do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just acquiring that upfront.
Yeah, the upfront bucket of just like telling people, being like, "Hey, it's live. You should back it now."
Yeah.
Please.
Okay.
So if I started early and get and make some, I already have a promotion model ready to go.
Yeah.
But
it's like it would be nice to have some sort of description of what it's going to be, right? Like
and maybe like another, and also like a cool like banner with like some designs on it or whatever, or some illustration or whatnot, or a cool render. Yeah. Be like, oh, okay, this is cool.
You kind of have to decide the name of it too, right?
Yeah, I know. I still haven't got a name for it. We'll see. Well, I'll get there. It doesn't have
That's
to
kind of
happen.
cool. It kind of reminds me of like in video games when you have to make that vertical slice first. It's like, oh, this is what the game's going to look like when it's done. And you've only done like 5% of it, but it looks good.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Are you going to go? Are you really leaning into the camera here?
I'm just fucking moving my body around.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Moving my body around. That's good.
You don't want to get those spider veins on your legs or anything. Being too stationary.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Okay.
I think we should wrap it up.
I think so too. No Fabrice this week.
So I got things to do. God damn it!
Do
you always? I don't know about you, but when we do these podcasts Tuesday, it almost feels like a write-off for me. Like I just can't. I don't get that much work done afterwards. It's like this. Like the podcast like saps energy from me or willpower. I don't know. Maybe that's just big dumb excuse.
Probably, but we can change it, man. It's our podcast. If you wanna modify it,
we'll talk. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Playing the Artist. If you want to help out the show, leave a like, leave a comment, or even subscribe and hit the bell icon and be reminded 8 o'clock in the morning Pacific time to watch the show of Antoine and Alex and our complaints and our desires and our dreams. Alex, where can we find you?
Tiger Skull RPG. Type that into Google.
Type it in Google.
TigerSkullRPG.com, patreon.com/TigerSkullRPG. And I got to update the links this week, actually. Yeah, because of the My Mini Factory thing now. So
You can find me at Forbidden Prince, and you can find me on Instagram or Thingiverse or My Mini Factory. Maybe download yourself some free models if you're a 3D printing enthusiast. Or just give me a follow on the grams. But anyways, Alex.
Yeah.
I might see you sooner than Tuesday.
Oh really?
I don't know.
Are you gonna come taste my dark beans?
No, I'm not.
Oh. Okay. All right. Well then we'll figure it out.
Okay. All right. Bye, Alex. Have a good day.
All right, later. See you.
Later. Bye-bye.